It's me, Renee. I'm back. So today, I'm here for another video. Obviously, why do I say that sometimes? Of course, if I'm filming, it's here for video. Sometimes you state the obvious, don't you? So yeah, as you might have already noticed, this week marks this week marks the beginning. Okay, so 1 year ago, I started my bookstore channel. Well, more or less 1 year ago. I started on Sunday. On Sunday, I posted a video, filming that one. And in context to that one, I'm gonna be posting more videos. I think probably will do in the next 2 weeks, so the last 2 weeks of September, of August, because I have some fun ideas and I want to do them. So I checked out to do research to find out which videos I should do. And I noticed on my channel I hadn't done this before. And I was like, what? How? So anyway, here is my top 5 time travel series. Normally, I would say that the list is not in like descending order. It's not from best to worst. It's just like 5 in random order. But of course, I suppose there might be some new viewers. But if you've been here for a while, you can pretty well guess. I have actually a first one on this list. I suppose maybe I could like go with others first and like build up. Yeah, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do the ordinary, normal stuff of building up. I'm gonna do the best one first, and then I'll go with the others. So yeah, this is the best. Can you guess it? Give you 2 seconds. 1, 2. Yeah, it's Guardians of the Galaxy, as I say, sorry. Guardians of Time, Marion Curley. So you have first book, The Named. Let's say wrong. You have the second book, The Dark. Third book, The Key. And then you have The Shadow, which is for now the last book. But Marion Curley said she might write more, so crossing my fingers. So yeah, Marion Curley. I read this one when I was actually in England, like 15 years ago, 2006. Maybe more than 15 years ago. A long time ago. I found this in a bookstore and I thought, oh yeah, that's the author by the other book that I love, Old Magic. I want to try this one out. Bought it, loved it. Of course, had to get the 2 other in the series. So yeah, as you probably know from the title of this video, it's a time travel series. And often, some people say like time travel, they feel like it often confuses them. Well, I don't like to be confused, but I love time travel. And I suppose that's kind of because my first more or less meeting with time travel in books was this series. And it's not confusing. It's not. It's just done so good. So perfectly. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. It's just so good. So this book and this series, it has multiple point of view. So if you love that, there's that. It has magical abilities. It has immortal beings. It has some mythical attachments, like there's some Greek mythology stuff in there. And there's love, there's friendship, there's sibling rivalry, sibling stuff and arguing. There's family relationship, there's secrets, there's a prophecy, and it's just done so good. It's just perfect. I don't really think, yeah, honestly, I suppose it doesn't have it doesn't have a million reviews on Goodreads and stuff because I suppose it's a bit of an older series now. This one came out in like 2002, 2001, and this one came out in like 2003, 4. This one came out in 2016. So yeah, I suppose they're all older. I suppose what do you count as older? But yeah. Um yeah, so it doesn't have all the reviews on Goodreads and on YouTube and BookTube and stuff, but the reviews that I have seen on Goodreads are all uh, all raving. They're all gushing, I've seen no 1 stars. No 1 stars. I think I might have seen one or two where it says like good book but not for me. But I've not seen one that says it's a badly written book or it's a bad book. Because you can't say it. Because this series is just it's perfect. There's no way you can complain about this series at all. It's not possible. If you say you have a complaint about the series, I'll think you're lying. Okay, I'll think you're lying. So yeah, just amazing series. Yeah. It also recently got a new cover. I think last year, so you can get like the new covers recently. And of course, if you can't get the new covers, you can get them from a library. You can get them used some places, and yeah, check it out. Check it out, or regret it for the rest of your life. So I'm wearing this hat to like have like a kind of time travel, like old timey feeling. And I feel like it works, but also maybe it works like a bit of a witchy hat. It's like, ooh, so I'm doing both vibes there. And yeah, so let's move on to the other. Not amazing, well, they're amazing, but not as amazing as this series. Let's move on to the other. Great. Let's do that. So yeah, as you might have seen, as you might notice, a lot of this series I'll have all the series, all the books in the series, like what I'm showing you. This one I won't, because I don't know, because I just didn't. Don't really have a reason. It's not that the whole series is not good, but yeah. So the next series is Dark Mirror by JPutney. Or it's her pseudonym, so she normally goes by the name Mary Jo Putney. So Mary Jo Putney is her name which she publishes for adults, and that's historical. And this is young adults, and it's historical fantasy, of course, title. Sadly, it's not real, at least not to my knowledge. But yeah, so this series. The present in the series is the 1800s, and they time travel to the 1940s. So it's like for us, it's in the past, but for them, they travel between their future and their past and stuff. So it's just very cool, fascinating. So in the 1800s, where mostly the plot is set, well, kind of like based. It's based around a boarding school where people with abilities, like magical abilities, go. But of course, for some reason, people with magical abilities are looked down upon. But they're, as I suppose to say, as all books, not all books, but a lot of books, people are just born with them, and it's not like any reason or sense to it. It's just totally random. So when you're born with magic and when you're of nobility, you look down upon, you won't get inheritance, etc., etc. And they're sent to this school in Scotland, Wales, to like get rid of the magic. But of course, instead, there's a rebellion in the school where they enhance and make you learn and control your magic. And it's just so good. So yeah, this is another one where there's magic as well as time travel. And there's also nobility and there's historical aspects. And it's just so well done. There's several point of views, but mostly it's one point of view. But there's some times where there's several different point of views, so there's a bit of that. There's romance, very nice romance. There's friendship. There's uh, drama. There's mystery. It has it all. I would say honestly for this one, the only thing that's slightly bothering with me for me is that the last book it's a trilogy. This one and the last book in the series it ends. Well, of course, it ends. It's the last book in the series. But I would say the way it ends kind of bugs me in a way because I feel like some of the plot lines are resolved, but not all of them, and some of them like mentioned in two sentences. So, like, can't you, I mean because like I feel like in the first three books, all like the series has a cast of characters, and I feel like in the whole series, more or less all the cast get like they get their due, they get their love lines. No one is like a small character. They all get their love story and stuff. But in the end, when it wraps up, it's more like just like the main protagonists get the big final showdown and like wrapping up. So it's I kind of wanted more to know what happened to other characters as well as the some two of them. So that was sad, but yeah. And yeah, it was just kind of hot, so I just took off my hat really. And yeah, anyway, this series, check it out. Very well done, and just beautiful colors as well, isn't it? And yeah. Yeah, so I kind of mixed in between like that's the series I read between like 2010 and like this year. So it's a new series I loved recently. Not American, well, God of Time is obviously like an older favorite of mine. And now we're going back to older favorite. I hadn't really planned like system, but now suddenly become a system in that way. You know what? Let's do it this way, this way. Yeah, that's fun. And finally, that way. Yeah, I think so. It's a bit darker, but who knows? Who cares? As long as you can hear me. So yeah, let's move on to the next number three. Sorry, three. This is a series. It's actually an ongoing series. The last book hasn't come out yet. No, last two books. Yeah, last it hasn't anyway been wrapped up. I have the first three books. I don't know what the third book is. I do have it. It's just someplace. But yeah, it's contingency and relativity by Peggy Martinez. So you could call it a time warper novel, which is what it was first called, like the series. But then it was actually after a while it was actually republished as the Sage Hannigan series. First, it was like published as like a new adult. I think that's mainly because the protagonist who starts at the whole series starts when she's 18. She's after high school and all that stuff. But there's no sex and there's not that much violence. I mean, I suppose there's more violence in the third book, but in the beginning too, it's not that much. So I would say, like, if you're 16, 17, perfectly pick this one up. You don't really have to be 18 or 19 to read this. I suppose age limits for books, how do you define that? How do you talk about that? I mean, I would say that's also bubbly. So, yeah, that's kind of after you research yourself, really. You know what? No, I'm going to take it off. Up on. We'll do like this. No, I'm gonna do this wonky. No, I'm gonna put it off completely off. So yeah, so the first book, she she goes into this old used bookstore. She takes out a book, and uh, actually, it's been a while since I read this. Just a great really clue for me to like reread this soon. But yeah, but I do kind of think that it happened. Anyway, very early in the first book, she ends up time traveling, and it's one of those times where it's unintentional. It's not on purpose. There's no time travel machine. She just ends up in the past, and in the past there's werewolves, there's vampires, it's different stuff like that, and there's like secret societies and stuff. So it's just so cool. Yeah, she ends up going back to like the 1800s, I think. When does she go back? Let me just check it out. Okay, it doesn't really say in this one, but yeah. But suffice to say, it's just a very good series. It's done so good. There's two love interests, but it's just done so good. You don't really. It's just done in a great way, really. Really. Yeah. In addition to werewolves and vampires, I'm pretty sure there's also sirens or like little mermaids in this one. So there's lots of different creatures of the night, like magical creatures. So that's fun, at least for me. And yeah, I just really love this protagonist and the series, and it's so good. The first book's like very good, and then so just so you know, like the third book kind of goes down a dark path, like stuff starts to happen in a dark way. So just slight spoiler, so you know that. Yeah. Though, as I said, the series hasn't ended yet, so it could probably end up finishing, wrapping up in a very happy-go-lucky way. I don't know, but like the way the third book ended, was like, what? You know, we need a fourth book, and we need like stuff to be happy, and we need stuff to be good, and yeah, you do know that, Maggie. You do know that. And yeah, of course, Maggie, if you see this, please write more again. I don't really think she's written like in 3 or 4 years. She just have stopped for reasons. Maybe she lost inspiration. I'm not sure. Hopefully, she writes more. And yeah, let's move on, shall we? We have another. Which of the two last one am I gonna go with now? I'm gonna go with that one. It's a duology. I've talked about it now and then. I suppose that I have talked about most of these books before. Well, except the Relativity and Contingency by Peggy Martinez. But yeah, so the fourth series is. Can you guess? Can you guess? Maybe you can't. It's The Next Together and The Last Beginning. So I suppose this one is kind of cheating because it's not a pure series, it's a companion series. So they they can be read separately. You don't need to read both. Though one of them takes place they take place in like the same universe, obviously. But they take place in a timeline is very close to each other. So if you read the second one before reading the first one, you're spoiled for the first one. So be aware of that. Be aware. So I suppose I'm just gonna be like a bit non-spoiler because I don't really want to give away too much spoilers. I didn't do it for other ones either, but this one as well. So Next Together, it's a reincarnation love story. So you have like this couple that meets in different lifetimes. It's during the Tudor period, during Second World War. It's during present. It's like lots of different time periods, really. And the protagonist in this one, you have the 2 point of views in this one, and they switch time like between like the different timelines, the different periods in time when this couple meets. And the present actually takes place with them in college, actually. So I suppose it's new adults. Not really, because it's not that violent, and it's not, you don't really have sexy scenes, so I wouldn't really call it new adults, but they're 18, 19 when you meet them, like in the present. And the couple, they both study science, so you have a girl in STEM, which is so cool. And it actually has like lots of notes and letters and stuff like this. And there's also like notes on refrigerator doors and stuff, so that's very fun. And yeah, beautiful cover. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that really. Then you have Last Beginning, which is actually a sapphic love story. And that's just so cute to have like a sweet and a sapphic love story with sci-fi. That's so nice to have that together. Uh, and yeah, I don't really want to say that much about this one because this one takes place after that one. I suppose I could say like this one, a character in this one, well, one of the characters is related to one of the characters in this one, maybe more. And yeah, this was, as I should say, like the time travel in the series. It's okay, so it's not confusing, but like how it works, it's not that well explained really. Like you think it's one thing in this book, and then it turns out to be another thing in this book. So it's kind of like what? But in the end, it didn't really bother me that much because I just loved these two books. So good, mind blowing, and just awesome, and just so good. Check it out, or regret it for the rest of your life. Yeah, intense. Do I care? No. It's my way of getting you to pick up these books and the other books, of course. Last series, last, but of course not least, it is. Can you guess? And I'll give you a few seconds. 1, 2, 3. Yes, if you said a Stoker Holmes series, you were right. It's the Clockwork Scarab. It's the Chess Queen Enigma. It's the Carnelian Crow. And it's the Sapling Deception. So this is actually the 4 of the 5 books. There's actually quintets. So there's actually 5 books in the series. I read the first 2 originally from the library, and I bought the first one. So I actually don't own the second one. I'm thinking it's the second one I don't own. Let me check it out. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's the second one. I'm pretty sure. It's one of them I don't own. But I've read all of them, and they're just so good. So I suppose also in the way it's kind of cheating because there's time travel in this one, but the main story is not like time travel focused. It's mainly set in the past in the 1800s, and it's mostly a mystery with Mina Holmes and and Evelina Stoker. Mina Holmes is the daughter of she's the niece of Sherlock Holmes, and Evelyn Stoker is the sister of Bram Stoker, who wrote Dracula. So, and Mina Holmes, Evelyn Stoker, she's a vampire hunter. Mina Holmes, she is a detective. Yeah, detective. Well, I suppose they're both detectives, but yeah. And it's told from the both point of views. It has like both like the name of the character and also the like chapter title, and then you have like a beautiful thing here, so that's so cool. And then you also have a big big letter here, and beautiful covers. Aren't they stunning? Stunning. And then there's, I mean, the mystery is always amazing. You can never guess anything. It's just so well done. It has humor. It has mystery. It has great characters. Great plot. It has like drama. There's conflict. There's everything you need in a great book. Everything. There's kissing and just so good. So this one actually came out last year. One of my most anticipated books of last year because I love this series so much. And I ended up reading it last December. I think maybe like the week before January, like the week between Christmas and New Year's. And I actually ended up crying a bit. Not because it's sad. I suppose in some ways it's sad, but like not because it's sad. It was just so emotional. Finishing this series, it's so well written. So I just kind of cried because of the emotion and the I was moved to tears, and it was just so well done. So yeah, I mean, if you're not picking up this book because of how, if someone tells you they cried while reading it, I don't know how you're not doing it. You should definitely pick up this book. But of course, read the first one first. And yeah, also I haven't read this myself, but I do know that some of the characters in this series has a companion series. Well, I suppose it was first like other series, and then she wrote this series. So, like, if you like this author writing style and characters, you might have more. Might have more to enjoy. And I'm definitely gonna check out that soon myself. And yeah, so that's all my 5. Sorry, that's not 10. 5 favorites time travel series. I hope you have read some of these. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you're interested now. Hopefully. Maybe you have some time travel tips for me. Please give them to me. Or if not, if you just enjoy watching me be silliness with you, that's good as well. And yeah, this is me saying Renee out.